Yeah, who say the way? Woo crew going live, in five, in a time where you walk outside. You got your mask like your name, Mike Myers. Ever met a gang that's lit like mine? You got 10, got Graham, they are part of the fan. We got Fran, got Tess, and calling them in. Professor Ross, who started the plan. Got Lauren and Sajin, yeah, they heading the team. Got Kate and Kelsey, ain't nothing to tell me. Marcel and Joe got it hot like Nelly. Saya make the group go higher. Karina, we need it, she'll get it done when it's required. And I'm the one who's supplying all the fire. Woo crew, name a group who fly. Woo crew going live, in five. In the time where you walk outside. You got your mask like your name, Mike Myers. Ever met a gang that's lit like mine? Woo crew going live, in five. In the time when you walk outside. You got your mask like your name, Mike Myers. Ever met a gang that's lit like ours? Gone.
Welcome back to Live with the Woo Crew, and today is episode number 13, and me and Kessel will be interviewing Kai Huggins-Daniel, and we'll be talking about the local hip-hop scene in Worcester, along with some of his upcoming song and album releases.
The first question we have is, would you consider the Worcester hip hop community to be a music scene? How would you characterize the local scene? Like, how would you compare it to, say, like New York or Boston or other big cities?
Ooh, I would say that the Worcester hip hop scene is definitely growing. Especially like my time being it in Mass and being around on the hill and stuff, I started noticing that, oh snap, Worcester ain't big. It ain't big, but it's starting to slowly rise. Like there have been different artists who performed at Palladium. A Boogie's performed there. I believe 21 Savages also performed at the Palladium as well. So it's starting to come up. And I know Jonah Lucas being like the main the main stamp, the main flag wearer of Worcester and everything. Like compared to New York and the other big hip hop scenes like New York, LA, Chicago and stuff, like Worcester is very low key. But because it's low key, like it's when it becomes big in like I don't know, maybe next within next decade or so, it'll be a surprise to a lot of people.
And then the next question we have is, who are the core members of the locale, and are most of them Worcester born, or are they from like outside areas in terms of like the hip hop scene?
Can you rephrase that again?
Yeah, so essentially, like the core members of the hip hop community, are they typically, well, in Worcester, are they typically from Worcester, or are they from outside?
In terms of the Worcester community, I would say there are definitely folks, a few folks here and there that actually within Worcester, but overall, I would say the Worcester community is like an amalgamation of different people coming from different places. Like you got folks coming from like Boston, Boston, Lawrence, even Michael, not Michael, even Che, who was part of the I think Worcester council. He's from New York and everything, so it's a combination of different people from different lifestyles, different backgrounds coming together to make this a reality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you know about the history of like the Worcester hip hop scene, and how has it changed over time?
The history of Worcester hip hop scene. Personally, I do not know how deep it goes and everything like that.
Yeah.
Just being from New York and stuff, I kind of know New York's hip hop scene, the history of New York's hip hop scene more, but at least for Worcester, I know that there's some, I know there definitely been some graffiti artists around time, like take a walk around Worcester, like you'll see some beautiful murals and everything.
Yeah, we've been
Um,
studying that.
Yeah, there's some beautiful murals, and there's also some very small hidden murals as well. So definitely in terms of graffiti artwork and stuff, that's been a thing. There's also break dancers and stuff around Worcester, around the Boston area and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely history there, but the old history that I can't fully educate y'all on.
And the next question kind of goes off what we're already talking about. It's what do you think Worcester's reception is to hip hop as a form of African American art, and how does it fit in within the cultural narrative of Worcester?
I would say that. Can repeat question again? Sorry.
Yeah, it's just what is Worcester's reception to hip hop as a form of African American art, and how does it fit in within the cultural narrative of Worcester?
Um, for most part, I feel Worcester's reception to hip hop has more or less been a pretty good one. If you talk to others, they may say something different, but like for me personally, I feel that it's been pretty well received just because, like, let's say, the consortium schools and everything, Clark, WPI and stuff, there's a big reception to hip hop, to like just African American arts and everything, and just the amount it brings to it, whether it be through activism work, whether it be uplifting others within marginalized communities. It's like there's a sense of respect there, I believe. And I would say that, hold on, no, one sec. Right. I would say that, yeah, I think that's kind of it right there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the second part of that?
Yeah,
Or I
the
guess,
second part of the question.
Oh yeah, the second part was how does hip hop fit in within the narrative or the cultural narrative of Worcester?
Um, I would say it's definitely was a. I believe it can fit in the cultural narrative just because the entire genre itself is just an idea of struggle. It's the idea of come above voicing your concerns. So through different mediums, so whether it be through music, through art, through dancing, whatever it may be, just voicing the problems that you have within your life and the stuff that you see around you. And in terms of Worcester's history and everything, Worcester was more or less it was a big place for industrialization, and then afterwards it's only now being trying to find its identity, trying to re-innovate itself and everything. So amongst the lives of people there, I would say that it's definitely a voice for them to be like, oh, this is what we're going through, these are problems we face, both young and old, no matter what nationality and what background.
and then the next question is, what is Worcester's reception to your specific work, do you think?
To my specific work,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been a pretty good reception. Specifically it being on campus and stuff on the hill, it's a really great reception for me. Like I've performed with BSU, I've performed many times at BSU, I've performed at Lasso, I performed just different events here and there. I've even performed off campus at Clark at one point, and it's been a really great reception all around. I could, at least from the Worcester community or Worcester consortium, I felt the love.
That's really cool. Good
I
job.
felt the love and everything, yeah, and it was like, whoa, y'all barely even know me, and yet y'all give me all this love. It was
How
unreal.
do you feel?
It was unreal. It really was.
That's really cool.
And do you use your artistry to express your social identities?
My artistry. Yeah, I would say that. I would say that my art form, both poetry and in rapping, it just comes from just my identity and just how I identify myself on just not one specific identity, but how multiple identities just cross and come together. So yeah, my artistry comes just from my foundation on what I built myself on and everything. The things I've seen that I rock with and mess with, and the things I've seen that's nah, I don't understand that. I don't mess with that. So it's all right there.
Yeah, we've been learning this whole semester how big authenticity and like keeping yourself in mind is in hip hop, and so it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, and then different like social identities that can be expressed in like lyrics and beats and everything. So
It's
um
it's it's all about just being real to who you are and being real to like what was it what you identify as like if you let's say are coming from like a low income background and stuff like it just was it don't be ashamed that you from that low income background. That's part of who you are and that's part of your upbringing. But at the same time, it's like if you ain't from that background or anything, then it's like stop trying to like say you are trying to glamorize it and everything. It's like you don't
yeah,
understand. You aren't from there and everything. You didn't experience these such things. So it's like whatever you are, wherever you're from, it's like speak on that. And even though it's your truth regardless on where it's from, and in it that speaks volumes.
do you think hip hop can be used as a tool for social uplift?
Social left 100%.
Mhm.
Oh, 100%. There's like numerous artists out there, both in the past and currently in the present now that have been using hip hop as just a means of like activism, uplifting others, uplifting different sections, different groups of people. 100%. You have artists going back as like no was it artists going back as like Grandmaster Flash. You got people like Nas, was it Nas, Jay-Z. You got folks in LA, was it like Dre, was it Dre, NWA, and currently now you got like folks like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, you got her, you got debate was it you got the baby, you got also Lil Baby as well. Like you got folks everywhere who've been using other various backgrounds who use it to uplift others.
Definitely, we agree too.
And has Worcester's music scene inspired, impacted, or changed the music you produce or how you produce your music?
I would say that it's inspired me in a weird way. It's inspired me just because it's like even though I'm from New York and everything, I start building my foundations within Worcester and the Boston community. Like that's where like most of my that's why I know most of my folks. Well, know most of like my close friends and stuff. Like I kind of start building almost like a core group of fans and stuff, and start building like my art up in Worcester. So it's a weird thing because it's like now I consider Worcester like my second place. The second place like I can come back to and it's like nah I can still feel the love. It ain't in New York, but it's like it's still like kind of home there.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's a place where I built my foundation in terms of just writing, going through all of the like necessary chops and everything to become a better artist.
yeah. Do you think, or what do you think the impacts are that you've seen on the youth community that hip hop has in Worcester?
In the youth community, I'll say
Mhm.
that hip hop. I'll say that hip hop has definitely been a big thing in the youth community because back when I was on campus and stuff, me and a few homeboys of mine, we were part of a group called Men's Involvement Coalition, and we were trying to like bringing kids from like I think it was a charter school or was it black and brown kids from a charter school, try to like be a positive role models to them and everything, and no doubt like the music speaks to them in such volumes and everything. So it's like what was it what they hear and stuff is like it really dictates like what they go through currently in their lives, what they truly experiencing, and it's like that's the best way. That's one of the best ways to we communicate with them.
Mhm. Relatability, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. It's very cool. Um, okay, so now we're gonna ask you some more specific questions to you.
Sure.
So, what have you been able to accomplish in your music career after graduating Holy Cross?
After graduating Holy Cross, I've actually finished writing my first mixtape, my first project, and everything. I finished writing that back in September, early September. I kind of finished the writing process from like the first song all the way to the last song.
Wow.
That's
As
awesome.
of Thank you. I finished that back in September. Since then, I've been working jobs and everything just to like A, help fund my project, B, also loans are kind of knocking on my door. So kind of like have to take care of that as well. But in terms of my music, finished my first project and everything, getting in touch with producers and stuff. I'm in the process of making it actually my own label and everything. My own
Wow.
Just started making up my own label, like I'll say about roughly a month-ish ago or so. Started coming up with my own label just because, well, I was my producer or so, like, or my engineer, he's a little busy right now. So as of right now, I start thinking, I was like, you know what? I might as well create a label one time, try to be on some real Jay-Z type of moves. Jay-Z type of moves. So make my own label. As of right now, we're making some designs, some logo designs and everything, just so that when it's time for me to release my project, fingers crossed, by the end of the year, it's like everything just flows naturally between like marketing, between the song choices I've made, hopefully a music video and stuff like that. Everything flows naturally.
I hope that does work out.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And then the next question we have is when did you first become interested in starting creating music, and who or what inspired you to start?
That's a fun story that I always look back on. So initially, my foundations began in poetry. Like I always loved poetry, like back in middle school and stuff, just writing and stuff. High school did more of that. Made some like some funny little rhymes here and there, but besides that, didn't think much of it. Came to Holy Cross. Hold on one second. Came to Holy Cross, then started doing the same thing. But it wasn't until, and I remember this moment so like clear as day. This was the moment when I was like, I want to do this. I want to go in music. It was when I went to Kendrick Lamar concert. It was when he was on his album Damn dropped and everything. And it was like July or so. He came to New York, performed at Barclays Center. Funny, and was it? I want to get tickets just because I was kind of a fan and stuff. Saw the whole performance, saw Drum perform, saw Travis Scott perform, saw 2 Chainz as a guest, was a guest artist, and I saw Kendrick perform, and it was a surreal moment. At
That's
that time,
amazing.
at that point in time, I was like, how he rocked the crowd and everything, how he stayed true to himself and everything. It was like, that's what I want to do. I don't know how long it'll take. It can take years upon years, but that is what I want to do with my life. That's what I want to do.
That's a great variety of artists to be at a show. I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fun. The only thing that I regret is that I recorded everything on Snapchat, but I forgot to like actually like save it. So like then
No.
it wasn't until I realized that, oh no. So the actual video footage is not there, but the memory stays with me forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Um, which platform is best to find your music?
Platform, as of right now, I'm in the midst of trying to figure out my best platform and stuff. But in terms of music, I'm trying to be on like all platforms, regardless of what it is. My main target would be Spotify. Was it Spotify, Apple Music? But I'm trying to be on like, was it definitely? I'll be on SoundCloud. Definitely, just try to be everywhere. Google, was it Amazon Music, Google Play, wherever it takes, try be on as many music streaming platforms as possible, just to like spread myself out there so that people know me or people will have the best chance of coming across me.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the next question is, if you have, who is one of your favorite artists to collaborate with? If you've like done any collaborations or anything.
Favorite as of right now, I got a few artists that I want to collaborate with just because I see them as my older brothers. Like some of my big siblings, some of my older brothers. He too is no a Holy Cross alum. He graduated 2 years before me, so I believe he's the class of 2018. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, class of 2018. Almost saw him as like a big brother on campus for me. So like he's been doing his music thing for a while. I think he just released his first EP or is on the way to releasing it. But to like definitely honor collaborate with him just because like, and I already have a song made for him to be featured on. So I want to collaborate with him. And there are two artists who are currently on campus right now who have amazing vocals. And like, I've heard them sing, I'm close to them, and it's like, it's only fitting that I may want to make a song.
The next question is, what do you believe the connection is between dance and hip hop music?
Ooh, it's a long history. It's almost it's almost like you can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really amazing thing. Like once you hear a song that you mess to, like you just instinctually just start bopping your head to the melody. Was it to a melody, to the beat, to some for the words? It's like it's an amazing thing, and before you know it, you moving your whole body to it too, just because it's like it's just that moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like it's almost depending on the song and stuff. It's like it's almost impossible to not move something, tap your feet, snap your fingers. Like it's almost impossible.
Yeah, that's so true.
The next question is, which one of your songs do you personally think is the best, and which do you think will be the most successful, like when you release your music?
Ooh, all right. So in terms of my plan for my project, I have. Sorry, I just saw something out my window. In terms of my project, I have 3 singles that I'm planning on releasing, and well, plans kind of got sidetracked, backtracked a little bit. I have 3 songs I'm planning on releasing. Then afterwards, I'm dropping my entire mixtape, 10 songs each. The song that I really mess with the most are 2 songs. Now, one of them will be a single I released coming really close to my project, and the last one is the final track of my entire song. Like the final track, I really mess with this so much just because it's just me and my best form.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my best form, I've recorded a sample of it, and it hits us so. It's just a very deep and like provoking stuff. Like I really mess with it. In terms of my most successful, that I can't say. I can't say. I can't predict the future. It may be. It could be one of the singles I dropped that could be successful. It could literally be like a hidden one of my other tracks, one of my other songs that could be most successful.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that, and I'll plug in my Instagram and everything too, because as of right now, that's where I'm doing a little bit of work or like trying to rework my Instagram. But my actual first performance I did on HC, the song I performed, that's actually going to be that's going to be on my project.
Yeah. How did your studies at Holy Cross influence the music you create?
I'll say that it just opened my eyes to like a lot of different just a lot of different stuff, like a lot of knowledge and stuff, because coming on campus, I thought I knew I thought I kind of knew everything and stuff, just because like I know my community, I know how people are and stuff like that. This is how the world kind of is. But that was just me. It was like a small pond mentality. It was only when I came over on campus that I started meeting people from so many different backgrounds, and like the culture shock hit me a lot. It really did, because I was like, whoa, it's how come y'all ain't vibing with this? How come y'all ain't getting some of my lingo? And it definitely transferred over into my studies, because I was like, wow, I kind of knew this beforehand, but I couldn't even present it in words. Now I have the words, I have the vocabulary to fully dictate to what are the things that I see, the problems I see, where the foundations it lied, how deep it goes, and what's the true source of it. So it presented me with a lot of stuff to think of. Also present me, my studies here at HC also present me with different perspectives, not just on like definitely a black culture, it was a black African American culture, but also present me with ideas within like the Latinx community. Yeah, it was a Hispanic culture. It presented me with just so much different things, like, oh, we have similar problems, or like, oh, we may be different, but at the end of the day, we still kind of going through similar problems.
Definitely.
And it's like blue months.
Yeah, we're only in our first year, but we've definitely like seen, a whole new perspective on social backgrounds and just personalities and where people come from. So I love how the school is diverse.
Trust me, like the type of lingo and type of folks that I'm normally around and stuff like that, like from New York and everything, it was just surprising when I came over HC, and I was like, whoa, y'all don't understand this and stuff like that, or like, wait, how come y'all give me like a weird look? Like this is normal and stuff. And there are folks I know like from like LA and Chicago and stuff who are like, they kind of understood, but like they didn't fully understand. So it was like, what? But like there was a small group of community that I met and stuff where like, oh no, we understand this.
And then the next question we have is, do you feel like the Bronx community influences the type of music you produce?
Bronx community? Yeah. Yeah, Bronx community. Yeah. Bronx, and for most part, just the New York vibe itself. It's definitely influenced it's definitely been an influence on my music and stuff, just because it's like we have a specific way on how we go about things and stuff, like in terms of like clothing, lingo, and stuff, what to look out for and stuff, what the beauty that's within the quote unquote like the ugliness that media likes to portray. Like it's influenced, just because it's like, this is my home, this is my foundation, and like no matter where I go, like I always know where I come from. And like no matter, at least like when people hear about the Bronx and everything and stuff like that, like there's different images, portrayals and stuff, but for me it's like, hey, that's only one part of the story. Y'all only getting to see that one part of the story. Y'all ain't seeing the other part of the story, the beauty in this, the amount of culture that comes with it. Even to my folks in Brooklyn and stuff, that I know, it's like there's only one portrayal. You only get half of that story. There's also the other half that isn't talked about, which is the true beauty and essence of it, of just the struggle and just coming up and stuff, and like having a better appreciation for life.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then the last question is, do you intend on continuing your hip hop career and pursuing music production as like your main focus in life?
No, definitely.
Definitely. It sounded like.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm in this for the long run. I know a few folks who are like, I know a few cats. I know a few folks who are like trying to do this to get money and stuff. For me, isn't necessarily about money. It's just like the idea of just doing it, having fun. definitely I want to make money off of this just because it's like if this ain't making money, then they're like, I need to do something else to like keep
Yeah.
funding it. So like the money thing is a big plus, but for most parts, like I want to do this for a while. I want to do this for as long as I possibly can, whether it be like performing on show or was it performing on stage, which main thing I kind of want to do, perform on stage, but afterwards I don't mind slipping into background and stuff, doing the more business side or like trying to help up like another artist come up, be like, oh yo, watch out for this, watch out for that.
Yeah, like a mentor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it ever like get hard to not be discouraged in trying to pursue your dream?
Trust me, trust me, it becomes difficult. There have been days when it's like there's been a lot of days when I've questioned whether this will pan out, or am I just so wasting my time, wasting my energy and stuff, like just because it's like when it comes to music and stuff, it looks like it's easy. And for some folks, they may have got things down to like a system and stuff, but in reality, it's like there's so much that goes on with it. Like there's the definitely the creative aspect, which is the hard part. Then afterwards, underneath that, there's the business aspect. There's the marketing aspect. There's also there's the art. Was it? There's the artistry aspect, i.e., like coming up with like. Was the logos coming up with like album and like cover pictures. Like there have been a lot of days where I felt discouraged. And funny enough, one of my closest homeboys for life, feel my close homeboys and stuff. Whenever I start down myself, they always like reassure me and stuff, or like I show them something new that I made, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like talent's there.
Yeah, like they've always picked me up and everything, and it's like, nah. Specifically, what one of my homeboys said is that I don't even listen to hip hop and rap, but like I'll listen to you just because it's like there's something that you bring that's different. And I even showed it to like a random person, like one of the things I'm working on, and he was like, "You got something. You got something there. It isn't necessarily polished, but like you got something there."
Yeah. Yeah, you see the potential in yourself, which I think is the key to, keep driving for that success in your goal. So, well, we thank you so much for, interviewing with us. It really means a lot, and hearing, your story and your work is really, really cool. So thank you.
No problem, guys. No problem. I heard what I heard what Professor Ross was doing everything with you guys, and I was like, I want to help y'all as much as I can and everything.
Now, a word from our state rep, Daniel Donahue, about an important nonprofit organization located in Worcester. We hope you will support in solidarity with the Woo Crew.
Hi, I'm Daniel Donahue, Massachusetts State Representative for the 16th Worcester District. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you a bit more about Abby's House, a nonprofit organization that values women from diverse backgrounds and experiences in my hometown of Worcester, Mass. The mission of Abby's House is to provide shelter and affordable housing, as well as advocacy and support services to homeless, battered, and low-income women with or without children. This is an important organization in our community, values hospitality, diversity and inclusion, compassion and respect, women's self-determination, and collective effort. Holy Cross was the first class to help support the women of Abby's House by providing volunteers to staff the shelter dating back to 1976. And Holy Cross students and alumni continue to partner with Abby's House by providing monetary, in-kind, and volunteer support. I hope you'll consider joining us by making a donation to Abby's House in honor of their 45th anniversary. Your donations will help to keep in operation the 79 units of supportive housing and 9 overnight shelter beds of Abby's House. Additionally, your donation will contribute to the wonderful programs of Abby's House, such as providing each woman with an advocate who helps her identify realistic goals and provides her with the tools she needs to achieve these goals. If you are able and willing, to make a gift to this amazing nonprofit, please click the link accompanying this video. If you would like to learn more about Abby's House, including opportunities for volunteering, please visit them at abbyshouse.org. Thank you.
Thank you for your time listening to our state representative talk about this great opportunity to support the Worcester community. And now back to the Woo Crew for more excitement.